Ruth developed quite an annoying cough last Christmas. And I kept saying to her, do you have to go and see about that cough? You've definitely got a chest infection. I mean, she's the doctor. And I says, I think you've got a chest infection. And she was ringing me from the taxi saying, this morning I realised, I'd been realising that although I was double dosing on the strongest painkillers I could allow myself to take, it wasn't making any difference. So I was going to go and see the GP this morning, and then I realised I wasn't going to be able to walk there, and it's all of like 5 minutes from the house. So I'm in the taxi on the way to the Freeman. Am I being stupid? No.
When she was first ill, she went off with abdominal pain, and I was still hoping it was nothing. I didn't know about her past history, and I thought, you know, we can all get a bit ill sometimes. And then I found out about her past history, but we still didn't know the diagnosis.
My wife's uncle is a dermatologist, and he has never heard of anybody having a recurrence of malignant melanoma 17 years after the event. It's an incredibly rare and incredibly unlucky thing.
I knew straight away. You know when you hope your sister's got a lymphoma, that's not good. After CT scan I thought, I really hope this is a lymphoma, but it's probably not.
The day that the results came through from the biopsy, you know, Harriet and myself were able to come up and be there, and yeah, it was very, very clear that it was serious, but she never tried to hide it, and was just, you know, and didn't really want anybody to grieve at that point. You know, there's a lot of life left.
She came in and said that she wasn't well, and she said, can I have a seat? And I sat her down, and I got a hold of her hands, and because I thought there was something really wrong, and I got a hold of her hands, and I said, are you really not well? And she said, no, I'm really not well. And I said, what is it? And she told me what it was, and I was just speechless.
My first reaction was that I was extremely angry, because it was wrong. It shouldn't be like that. You know, it should be me, not her. That's what I thought.
We all had a cry, really, and then you have to get on with it. But every stage, you know, when there was another scan and so on, it was nearly always the worst outcome.
I got a phone call saying that it was a recurrence of the melanoma, and I knew what that meant, as I know that Ruth would know what that meant as well. And I think I was absolutely gutted. I just thought, this is just awful. It's just the worst news.
As soon as she knew what it was, and we were talking about it, I knew that meant she'd probably only be around for another 12 months. I happened to be in Glasgow, and she phoned me at home because I've still got her voice in my answer machine to say, hi lady, can you come round about 9:30 for a wee chat and a cup of tea? And that's obviously, but she ended up phoning me in Glasgow, and of course I was, no, it can't be, they must have made a mistake. And she said it's not the curable kind.
Well, my first reaction is probably everybody that knows me, is, God, Ruth, that's really shit. I don't think you can put that in the film. And yeah, and then obviously your second reaction is, well, don't worry, you'll get through this, you fight it, you're a strong lady. So that's always, obviously always people's second reaction.
I hadn't seen Ruth around for quite a long time, and I'd seen from some emails that she was obviously going to be away from the medical school for some time. And in the end, I phoned up to see how she was. And it was typical of Ruth that when I said to her, hi Ruth, I was phoning to find out how you are, that her instant response was, I'm dying.
The illness was a really important part of it, and in a way, she was never better than when she was ill.
No, it was the essence of Ruth.
So it's, yeah,
that was
it
what
was
you
a
got
really special
there.
time.
Because it was Ruth stripped down to being just herself, and being very conscious that this was it. There wasn't time for a rehearsal.
She was very Ruth about
the whole thing. So she moved into a very self-contained, let's get the planning right, let's get stuff organised, these are the things that I need to happen, you know, these are the, we all knew what our role was going to be and, you know, what the expectations were.
For the time that she was able to sit up and talk to you, she was that full of energy, and instead of me saying anything to comfort her, she was doing the talking and making me feel at ease.
It was nerve-wracking on the Monday morning ringing to see how she was.
Yeah.
And once you said she was up for visitors,
yeah,
it was just lovely, and it was just Ruth. I mean,
particularly early on, I felt she was she kind of organised everybody and everything, and put everybody at their ease, and was completely herself. Yeah.
Well, it was so Ruth to tell me what she wanted me to do. You know, she gave me my remit, so there was no worry about trying to say the right thing at the right time or whatever.
Yeah.
I was to come and make her laugh and save up funny stories for her.
I saw her at home when she was poorly, and it was a big change, but personality-wise, though she was really very ill at that stage, she was still bubbly and
Well, you said if you
chirpy.
closed your eyes, you would have still thought it was her, you know, as normal.
As you would, you'd seen her the last time she was in here.